Must have been love, but it's over now. Oh shoot. I'm so anxious to get this done. I should just calm down. Like, calm down, Stephanie.
Hello guys, and welcome to a new video. I just wanted to hold this flower for no reason. Hello, my name is Stephanie Harford, and I am a photographer turned fashion designer, and on this channel I create dresses, and you guys pretty much know the drill if you've been here before, but if you haven't, welcome to my channel. If you cannot tell from the thumbnail, this dress is really pretty. That's my opinion, of course. But you clicked on this for a reason, so you must want to see how I made it. And I won't drag this on much longer. I usually make my intros as short as I can, but sometimes I just jabber on. But we're not going to do that today because this is too exciting and I really just want to get to the video. So if you're here to watch how I made this corset out of velvet and pearls and a bubble skirts, stick around. Really quickly, I'm moving. So my room is like not a room anymore. You're like, where's your sewing machine? It's not here. Now, you'll find out in the next video what's going on. Why am I moving? Where am I moving to? What's my new sewing room gonna look like? Maybe you're curious, I don't know, but it's always fun to share it, so I will be sharing that. So today's video will actually be the last project that I worked on in this current sewing studio that is going bye-bye. So let's get to it. First things first, we get our fabric. I got this velvet fabric from Hobby Lobby as well as this pre-cut from Walmart of cotton fabric that matched perfectly, and I wanted to start off with the lining, so I unfolded it and I knew I had to iron it. After I ironed it, I wanted to test out how much fabric I needed, but also, side note, I got these cute little glass weights, but they're not as heavy as I would have wanted, but they're cute. I might just find different ones. Anyway, after it was ironed and I put all the pieces down, I cut them out. I actually use this tape. I don't normally do this. Honestly, I never do this, but I tried it. Yeah, it was okay. It definitely helped. They're all skinny pieces and I wanted to make sure that as I was cutting them, they didn't lift from their spot, but in reality, I could have just traced them and cut on the line. And if you're wondering why I didn't use a rotary cutter, it's because mine is being really weird. I replaced the blade and had the same problem, so I don't know. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And my cutting mat is not the kind that like sinks in, so a lot of the times it just sticks to it and it's really annoying, so I prefer the scissors. I like to start with sewing the lining pieces together. I've mentioned this in my past videos. It helps me see the overall look before I commit. And if I'm lucky, it works out perfect and I don't have to do another one, which that happened to be the case for this. And if I'm unlucky, it's easier to redo something with cheaper fabric like this cotton than it is to, do it with the main fabric. Tested out the boning by just making channels on this little test piece. I'm going to use it for the lining because I actually don't mind how it's going. There's room for the boning channels, which is great. I actually have literally just enough of these spiral bonings. I only had a few of these. They're like pre-cut, but obviously I'd still have to shorten them. At this point, basically approve the pattern. That is what we're going to do, but on the velvet fabric. So let's move to the velvet fabric and cut all the pieces and get them sewn together. I'm gonna use this interfacing just because this is stretchy fabric. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I think that this will help. So wish me luck. I'm making it up. That's how I'm gonna do it. So I have 2 layers lined up there. This velvet, if you push down on it like this, is soft going downwards, and if you go up, it has friction or whatever it's called. I want to make sure everything with the skirt is gonna be, it's gonna look nice. Be sure to subscribe. No, really. As you can tell, this time around I decided to trace the pattern pieces, and that was much easier for me to cut, and then I put some pins just to make sure they stayed in their place. Luckily it pretty much stuck to the velvet, so that made it a lot easier. And I also switched between my electric scissors and my regular scissors. I'm always just trying to see which one's better. You just never know. After what felt like a million years, I finally finished cutting out all of these pieces. Okay, I tested this one out. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I think the interfacing definitely helped, you know, obviously keep the pieces not super stretchy. So what I need to do though is cut along that interfacing, because the interface is perfectly cut to the pattern, but the velvet kind of moved around a bit. So we're gonna start sewing all the pieces. I'm so excited to see how it's all gonna turn out. Apparently I'm in my velvet era, because this is like 2 velvet dresses in a row. The last dress I sewed before this was my best friend's birthday dress. And if you haven't seen that video, you better go check it out. I just posted it before my last video. Okay. I think that's a pretty good stitch length. It seems strong. It's looking good. Oh my gosh. Other side. Okay, I'm gonna sew this up and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So this is the back. It's looking so freaking pretty. I'm really excited. I'm going to sew down the seams to create channels, and I'm gonna do it just like the lining. Just push everything going outwards. In order to reduce the bulk, I'm actually going to just cut and shorten the side that's gonna be enclosed, and then we will put a boning channel inside. Yeah, I just wanted to show how I did it here. So all the seams are facing outwards. Since this is thinner fabric, I didn't trim or anything, but that's exactly what I want to do on this side of the bodice. I'm going to be flipping it down that way. So we're going to trim, and I'll just cut it in half. I normally don't do this. This is like, I just wanted to because, you know, this fabric is so thick. We also are going to need boning for the edge, but I'm going to sew on the lining just to the edges. Then we'll flip it inside out, and that'll allow the edges to be perfectly sewn in like that. There we go. Now the curve part is gonna be a little bit unique because, you know, it curves, but we're going to try our best to, you know, just keep it in place as best as it can. We'll try it. Normally I would clip, but since we're putting the boning inside of it, I didn't want it to have like open cuts or anything like that. So we're going to try our best to make sure it lines up as nicely as it can. And while you watch me do this, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for everyone who has subscribed and watched my videos. Even if you just subscribed right now, I am so grateful for you, and I cannot express that enough. I'm so happy to be able to do this more often, and I hope that I can continue making these beautiful dresses and also just getting together with models. That's one of my favorite things, and eventually making dresses for myself here and there again would be nice. I'm just working on a couple things, but until then, either way, I'm gonna keep making dresses. So I lined up the whole neckline, and what I want to do is just like attach the bodice and everything. We will be using bias tape that I'm going to make out of the velvet fabric to enclose everything, but for now I just wanted to get it to close because that way I can start inserting all the boning. To know how long I needed the bias tape, I measured the neckline just all the way across, and I added a seam allowance and just some extra, and I did that for the waistline as well. I created a strip. I didn't do it on the bias because it's a stretchy fabric, so I want to make sure the velvet, you know, goes in the same direction, and all I have to do is fill it so it goes this way. Let's go apply this. Let's take a little pause here to talk about Trainwell. Really quickly, if you're like me and you struggle to get on the floor and cut skirts, which I actually didn't really have to do that for this project this time, but I have had to do that for some of those bigger skirts. You may have seen me struggle before. I am not in shape at all. So much crawling is involved. I really need to like lose some weight and work out more. I can get out of breath easily, tired easily, like things are twice as hard. Then I'm just like, can't breathe. And I'm like falling over. So when it comes to sewing, like there's that part of me that's like, it would be really nice to just like actually fix my problem I have. Another YouTuber had posted about Trainwell and I got interested in it, looked into it. Long story short, we had some financial problems and I was like, wait, hold on, pause. When I paused, I still really wanted to go back to it and I felt like it was something that would be very beneficial to me. And so I actually went back to them and I said, hey, is there any sort of way I can like, you know, like get it like a discount? I was like trying so hard. I said I can make a video about it and they agreed. So I'm making the video today to talk about it, but I actually have like really great things to say about it. Trainwell is customizable to each client. So my trainer, her name is Chris and she is super nice. Very, you got this, yeah, woohoo. And I love that. I need that. For me, the thing that sold me was the flexibility to just work within my schedule. I'm a mom, I work from home, and sometimes it's a morning that I didn't expect and I'm like, I can't get to my workout. I don't have to miss the workout. I can just do it at a time that's convenient to me. And sometimes I have to switch it to the next day or I lose my streak and I'm like, no, I don't want you to lose my streak. Anyway, I really love having a trainer that you can text and you can say, hey, you know, like I'm this or I'm that. They're gonna help you. They can work with your schedule to say like, hey, let's ease it up, or like, hey, you're doing really great, do you want to add? And I can't wait to see the results, so I'll probably tell you guys more about it as the months go by because I really plan on staying. It's super affordable. If you guys want to sign up and that's something you're interested, I will put the link below because honestly, if you're sewing and you're out of shape and you don't like getting out of the house, Trainwell's for you. Don't worry, you're working out technically by yourself. You just have the app showing you what you're doing. But anyway, we've talked enough. Let's get back to the video. Look at me, I'm getting strong already. Okay, these are 10 pounds, but my arms are strong. Not so much my legs. So that's what we're gonna be working on. We do my squats. Anyway, link below, but let's go sew. Hello, it is a new day. I cut these patterns pieces last night. I'm using a pattern I got off Etsy just to make my life easier for a bubble skirt. I already kind of know the concept. Basically you have a lining skirt. I don't know if this comes out to like a half circle skirt, but then you have the outer skirt, which is the bubble, and that one will be folded inwards and gathered, so then you have this like bubble. Anyway, okay, so these are like the decorative beads that I'm going to be using on the outside, so I was testing them out earlier. I am so excited, but let's get this skirt cut. Okay, so this is the lining. I need 4, and I realized that I didn't even think about lining. And I'm not going to be able to fit 4. on this. Unless by a miracle, huh? Aw, we don't have a miracle today. So I did happen to find this roll of, I probably thrifted it, that's why it's like rolled and just looked kind of wonky. But, I mean, it is a great color. It's gonna go underneath, so it's not like it's gonna be seen. I thought I would just do cotton like how I have it, but I think this satin will actually be nice on the skin, maybe, because it's soft and silky. I don't know. Oh wow, that's really long. I'm sure it's enough. I just have to iron it because it's like really nasty looking. Alright. Wow, yeah, this really needs a major iron. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. No, it's gonna barely... Yes! Okay, so it's not the best because this fabric is really bad. It is ironed. Alright, so this is how you do it. You fold it like 50 times and it's all mirrored when you do it like this. Grain line needs to run across the selvage. There we go. It's just gonna have a little wrinkled look, but it's on the inside, so I literally don't care. Okay, I'm gonna take a lunch break and then we're gonna get back to this. Bye! It must have been love, but it's over now. Oh shoot. We'll put the lining to the side, and now we have the velvet fabric, and we are going to sew these two half circle skirts to each other. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad. I don't know how I thought I saw that correctly. I was about to just sew a side to the bottom of a skirt. Luckily, I barely did anything before realizing. That would have sucked. I'm so anxious to get this done. I should just calm down. Like, calm down, Stephanie. It's better to do it right than to do it fast and mess up, right? Calm down. I'm just so excited. Okay, let's really double check this. There we go. Much better. Outer skirt, the bubble, has been created. Yay! Now we just have to create a waistband. Also open up one of the sides because that's how you flip it inside out. So I'm just gonna like create a little hole. Okay, hole is made. So we have our pieces here and I'm going to line up and gather the top. This is all gonna get gathered, okay? So I am literally just going to wing it here because it's not that much of a difference in size. Some spots are super gathered, but either way it's gonna get scrunched together with an elastic waist. So now I gotta do the bottom. Once the bottom is done though, I can then flip it inside out through that little hole I made. Oh, I also debated tulle to give it a poof. I can do that before turning it inside out, and I can do it even after I sew this on, so I'll decide. I got ahead of myself. Okay, so we're going to do a gathering stitch. I tested it. It looks great. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I have a feeling I need to switch my needle out. The gathering foot was really messing up on me, so towards the end it just wouldn't work anymore. So I only did half of it, but I'm gonna sew it on. It's fine. I also put a new needle and everything and it did not solve the problem, but that's okay. White thread for this method, so we're just gonna gather. Gathering foot was just being super difficult with me. I don't feel like dealing with it. And then you just hope and pray that this gathering stitch doesn't rip. should be able to turn it inside out, but I'm wondering what I should do with the waistband. I don't know. I actually don't know. Let's just turn it inside out. Okay, here's my little hole. I can make it bigger if I want, but we'll just see if everything can fit in here. Okay, somewhere along the way I screwed up. I kind of just ignored the directions, so there we go. Oh my gosh, is this gonna do or no? Am I just screwed? How am I getting this wrong? Ah! Okay, I'm gonna disappear, and when I figure this out, I'll record again. Okay, after some fixing, I just serged it, and we're actually just gonna do a waistband separate so that I can actually just do a waistband, the velvet fabric. So I cut this 23-inch waist, and I made this because it'll stretch, you know, like if her waist is a little bigger, but that way it's nice and snug. I was just trying this little scrap piece. So I'm basically just gonna cut something that will be able to cover this fully, plus the seam allowance, and we're actually just going to attach that onto this. Essentially, it's just gonna be like creating a channel that goes all the way around, and then it gathers it as we stretch it. But this needs to be able to stretch too, which it does, and then it'll just be really pretty. Okay. So I cut 3 inches wide, and what we're gonna do is sew it together like this, kind of like a cuff. Now that that is created, I could iron this just to make it a little bit, you know, easier to know exactly how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll continue on. Oh my gosh, I dropped the pin! Ugh. I don't know where it went either. So I'm just lining up other side just to make sure it's like evenly distributed as I, you know, as I go along. After watching a tutorial for like literally a hot minute, I learned what we need to do. We basically need to create 2 rectangles. And we have lots of fabric left. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Sometimes a part of designing is just literally combining random things. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut rectangles. I want the sleeves to drape a little bit like from the corner, the top of the corset, and just whoosh, like a big old giant puffy thingy. Lined up the seam here. And now I'm folding it in half just to get that even cut. And we're just gonna like do a diagonal basically, 3.5 inches over. We're literally just gonna cut straight to that corner. This is what we have so far. Here's the dress. It's a little thick though, huh? It's like really thick on the back too. That's not too bad, right? I think it looks so pretty. I actually think that's gonna work out. Update, I'm putting the drape sleeves on, so I'm literally just sewing it to the inside. The side's already done. You can see the pink serger thread. I just did not want to have to switch over to red. It's whatever, it's on the inside. Not the prettiest, that's okay. Everything else is pretty. The outside is all that matters. This corset is just so freaking pretty and so soft. But now I'm doing an invisible stitch. I'm almost there. I made it. Whew, it is done. It is done. Now the last step is to sew on the pearls. We've got the decorative pearls here. So I want the small one on top, the thicker one on bottom, but one of my ideas was to actually like let it drape with the sleeve. Hopefully these are not too restrictive because they were a little shorter than I imagined, but we're gonna put this on the dress form for tonight and then continue tomorrow. My gosh, I have like velvet in my eyes and my nose. So I just made this extremely long loop here. I call it a loop because I use a loop turner. And I think it should be enough. I didn't know how to like finish off the edges, so I literally just burnt it. It is what it is. There we go. That should work. I hope that it doesn't rip though. I'm so worried that it's gonna rip. Like the fabric, I cut it a little too thin in some spots, and which was like, honestly, because I was just being impatient trying to cut it really fast. And I was like, crap, it's getting too thin. And so I was like, oh well, should be fine. Oh my gosh, I thought there was a hole. There is a hole. Oh no. Oh no, there's a hole in the grommet. Oh no, it's all over. I thought I had it thick enough. Oh no. I had like interfacing, the velvet, the cotton, but I should have done a second, like a thicker interface to seal the deal. Oh no. Not all of them are doing it, but like there's 2 of them over here doing it. Well, let's hope that we can just ignore it. That's my philosophy. I'll show you though, so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, it's like ripping through, and right here, it's lifting up off the fabric on both of them. That's really, really unfortunate. And then when I pull it, it just rips that hole even further. I will try to figure out how to fix it. I don't know why I'm gonna make it worse by tying this, but I'll just like tie it loosely. And then the skirt, there's a petticoat underneath, which I might actually just leave for the photo shoot just because it kind of gives it volume. I wish that I put tulle inside, which was like, you know, my idea, but I just didn't do it. And I don't know why I didn't do it, but I should have. The dress is done. Wait, the dress is done. The dress is done. I think that's it. And now I'm gonna be curious of these holes, but yeah. Okay, I think I solved the grommet problem. I noticed that the grommet wasn't tightened as tight as it can be, and I didn't even think to check on that. I saw that the fabric was like pulling out of it, right? But it wasn't because it ripped, it was just because it lost grip. The fabric's not as thick as the last time I did it, so I didn't think about how I need to really, really smash it down. And then right now, I am fabric gluing velvet fabric onto the part with the serge because it just looks ugly and I have time. Yeah, and then we're just gonna use the fabric glue right here. I was putting it on the strips, but I think it might be easier to just put it on the serge. Here we go. Cut the little excess off. Oh, come on. There we go. So we let that dry. You can see how I covered where the straps connect. And then the grommets, they're in. fanciest dresses I've ever made. It's not even a dress, it's a corset, but whatever. Turned into a dress. Okay, I have packed the dress and my camera, and we're actually going to be shooting this at the new house that we're going to be living in, but I am squeezing in this shoot before we move stuff, so we have an empty house. Without further ado, let's finally get to the reveal!
You can find me on my Instagram at Lisa Love.
Thank you so much for modeling for me. This is the third time, so everyone's pretty much getting to know you now.
Oh. It's amazing.